So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday health seminar. As usual, it's a Sunday, and on Sundays, we normally talk about health, how we can live a longer, healthier life. I welcome you all from wherever you are coming in from. I know we have people from Tanzania, we have people from Uganda, Abu Dhabi, Kenya, Nairobi, all over Kenya. So welcome you all. My name is Fred Gishuki. Fred is an entrepreneur with Neolife International. I've been in the business for quite a while. Joined this company in 1996 as a young man. Came in because of money, but I got to learn a lot about health and nutrition and the benefits of living a longer, healthier life. Today I sit here and I talk to you because Neolife has impacted my life in a very positive way. When I joined Neolife as a young man, my first benefit, I came in because of money, but my first benefit was health. And I like sharing because it's actually very important for me, and that's where I came from. My parents were suffering. My dad had ulcers. My mom had high blood pressure. And they used the Neolife products, and the products were able to manage that condition. And that gave me a lot of confidence to talk to everybody about Neolife and what the products can do. And since then, I've been able to affect so many people's lives positively with the products. And on top of that, I ended up building a very big organization, courtesy of Neolife, that goes into about 12 countries. It's an organization that has tremendous benefits. I've been able to not only make the money, because I remember my first check was 300 shillings, but the highest check I've gotten from Neolife is a check of $13,000. So there's good money in Neolife. If you're here for the first time and probably you are looking to make an extra income, you're at the right place at the right time with the right group of people. And you need to look at Neolife, especially because of that. If you're here for health, then you're at the right place because Neolife allows you to participate at whatever level you want. You can participate merely as a customer, just by buying the products for your own use. You can participate as a distributor where you are building an organization to make money. You can participate as a wholesale customer, whereby you just join so that you can buy products at wholesale price. And it's wonderful how Neolife does it. Now, if you are participating as a distributor, there are tremendous benefits. The money is good. The health is there. The travel, I've been able to travel with Neolife to so many countries. I've been abroad more than 20 times, courtesy of Neolife. I've been to America, to UK, to Mexico, Mauritius. And when I travel with my wife. And that's the exciting thing about Neolife. When I joined this company, like I mentioned, I was single, but I got married to one of my customers who ended up being my wife. I promoted her. I like saying that. And today we have 4 beautiful girls. And my wife never struggled with labor. In fact, the longest she's ever labored is an hour. My 2 last kids were born within 30 minutes of labor. So you can see the products really make a big, big difference. So today we are here to talk about mental health. This is a very, very important subject, especially right now because, and especially for men, because men, as we are going to see, we normally fall victim of challenges of mental health because of various reasons. But it's a subject for everybody. And we all need to have good mental health. That's a very, very important thing. And we are going to get into it. And later we'll be joined by one of our top distributors who's going to share with us her testimony as far as this topic is concerned. So what is mental health? When you talk about mental health, what is that? And what is this thing that you're talking about? I'm just going to get into it. Just to share with you a little bit. I believe my screen is okay. If it's not okay, please, one of the leaders, if it's not moving, make sure you mention it to me so that I can be able to rectify it. But I believe it should be moving. So is it moving? Is it okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So mental health, as the name suggests, it's all about your mind, it's all about your memory. It's about the health of your mind, basically. And here we are looking at what are some of the risk factors of mental health and what causes it. By looking at the risk factors, we'll also see what causes challenges as far as mental health is concerned. The first one is hereditary. These are traits that are passed on from parents to children. If you are coming from a family with um, what's the word? With a preponderance or with a likelihood of getting mental health, then you're bound to get it. If your relatives or if your grandfathers had it, or in your family lineage, there are people who had mental challenges, then you're likely to get it. And here we're talking about carrying genes that increase the risk of mental illness, cancer, diabetes, alcoholism. Then environmental influences. This is where your physical and social conditions that surround you influence your mental health. Some of these conditions could be the drinking water that you're exposed to. It could be laced with some chemicals or that can affect your mind. Exposure to tobacco, smoking, that can bring other problems to you. Influence of friends, family, or culture. Now, we've seen many people who have mental challenges, developing mental challenges because they were either abused by their parents or they are an uncle or an aunt somewhere, or maybe they were just oppressed by their relatives whom they were staying with, and they end up being very violent or just getting moods of depression, getting bipolar problems and that kind of thing. So the environment that you're in matters so much. If it's a high pressure environment, maybe you're working in a high pressure job, you have a lot of stress at your workplace and you don't manage the stress, you don't take measures to ensure that you are on top of things. That can also affect the state of your mind. The other challenge is behavioral. Um, these are conditions that are resulting from a person's actions and decisions. Your actions and your decisions have, like they say, choices have consequences. There are some decisions that you can make that will affect the state of your mind. Smoking, for one. I've seen incidences. I remember a neighbor of mine who was smoking bang, and that made him get depressed, and he had to be taken to Madare Hospital for that. So smoking, not wearing seat belts. Now that may seem like a misplaced behavioral factor, but when you don't wear seat belts and you have an accident, then you're going to hit your head on the car roof or something, and that can actually affect a heavy knock on your head will definitely might affect the state of your mind. A highly fatty diet. These are things that end up messing up the state of your mind. Keeping your feelings bottled up. That is, you are this person who does not share. And this is where men come in. Men never share their challenges that they are going through. They keep it to themselves, and that starts eating them. And many of them can become violent. You've seen incidences of a man waking up, taking a panga, chopping the entire family, and that kind of thing. This is basically because of bottling up issues, not going for things like counseling, which ends up being disastrous. Now, in a summary, some of the things that actually affect your mind. Your physical health definitely will affect your mind. Any kind of disability can bring self-esteem issues, genetic vulnerabilities, effects of drugs, your temperament, if you're the kind of guy who bottles up everything, your IQ, then also the peers that you live with, the peers that you associate with. If there are people who are always constantly putting you down and telling you you cannot make it, these are people who will affect the state of your mind. They'll make you feel you are useless, and that, or if you're in an abusive relationship, and that can affect the state of your mind. Like the current situation whereby there's this lady who is going around killing some of her former boyfriends, and you realize she feels slighted and she's hitting back at them. And this is a situation of probably somebody who could have been in a very oppressive relationship, and she's just hitting back at the men. Then family circumstances, just mentioned about that, that can really affect. And it's important for us, especially if you're a parent, you need to create the right environment for your children. Don't be too much of a disciplinarian like our parents were, and make children fear you, that they cannot share with you what they are going through. And they are open now to abuse from other people, maybe the social media, and they end up getting psychological problems. School as well plays a very big role. A teacher can make your kid actually develop some psychological issues. The kid can start feeling that he's not good enough because the teacher keeps on telling them you're good for nothing. You're like your grandmother or like your mother, you are useless, you know. Those kinds of abusive treatment can actually affect the kid negatively. On the positive side, a school that encourages a kid to believe in themselves, to believe that they can do it, to believe that they are special, they are created in God's image, that's a school that will actually ensure that the kid becomes healthy as far as the psychology is concerned. And there we have the psychological part of it, coping skills. There's somebody who says there's nothing good or bad. It's only thinking that makes it so. And something that is harmless can affect somebody so traumatically. Maybe a joke that was shared and you took it the wrong way, and it affects you to a point whereby you stop associating with people, or you withdraw, and you become depressed because of a joke that was actually shared. And it's because you're not able to cope with it properly. Self-esteem issues, social skills are also important in ensuring your mental health. Now, um, let's look at some of the ways what can you do to ensure that you are healthy mentally. But before we do that, what are some of the symptoms that will actually show you whether you are healthy mentally or not? One of the symptoms is if you're getting migraine headaches, constant migraine headaches, you're taking painkillers, it's not going away, probably you could be heading for a mental health challenge. Maybe there's a deficiency in your diet. Deficiency of omega-3 definitely will give you migraine headaches, and that needs to be rectified. If you are getting periods of mood swings, irritability, you're always shouting at people, you are overreacting on small issues. And this is an issue where we need to be very alert and be aware of your state of your mind. If you find that you're getting mad all the time, you're shouting at people, you're basically very hard to live with, then it could reflect that there's some stress that you're being exposed to, and you need to take care of that stress. Otherwise, if you don't take care of that stress, it can culminate and become a medical challenge if you allow it to continue for a long period of time. The other challenge is forgetfulness. If you find that you're always forgetting things, you put your keys there, you can't remember people's names, faces. Maybe you're developing Alzheimer's disease, and Alzheimer's disease is brought about by many things, but one of the things is the aluminium that you get from your pots and pans. I've seen an extreme case of a guy who could not even remember his property, where it was. He could not even remember that he was eating food. He could not remember where he parked his car in town. And most people who really get into what we call professors. I remember a professor at University of Nairobi who would come with a car to town and forget where he has parked it. He would remember everything in class. He used to teach without even having any notes to refer to. But when it comes to his car, he cannot remember where he parked it. That tells you that that's a mental challenge that he had right there. So there are those symptoms that occur that show you that you are having a mental challenge, and you need to be aware of them and take corrective measures so that you don't get to a situation whereby you need medical attention because of a mental challenge. Another thing that is important as a parent, look at the behavior of your kids. If any of your kids suddenly becomes very quiet and moody, then maybe they're undergoing some stress, which might culminate to a mental problem. A certain change in behavior of a family member Somebody was very organized and suddenly they don't care about their appearance. They look shaggy and kept. They are always, especially the first thing that happens when somebody has a mental challenge is that they stop taking care of their grooming. They start looking untidy and all these things. They start complaining about things that are imaginary, which are attacking them and that kind of thing. And probably that person could be ending up with a mental challenge. Another issue, if somebody is coming up with conditions that when you go to hospital, they test him, there is nothing. He says his leg is aching. They go to hospital, they can't find. Mara, he says the heart is, the chest is aching. Mara, they say one leg is longer than the other, or they feel like they are not straight enough or something. They're always coming up with stories. That could be, those could be indications that this person could be heading towards a mental problem. So how do you sort this thing out? How do you prevent, how do you help this person to actually avoid getting into a clinical state where they need medical treatment? Some of the ways that you need to do, or what you need to do to deal with medical challenges, are stress releasers. There are some stress releasers that you can use that can actually help you to handle stress. The first thing is writing down, just taking a pen and paper and writing. It is very relaxing. It relaxes your mind. Meditation is another one. Time management strategies so that you don't feel like you're running up and down. Listening to some cool music. Music has a way of relaxing the mind and relaxing your soul, and you feel very, very good. Herbal teas. There are some herbal teas that will help you to relax. Relaxation exercise. Exercise has a way of relaxing you, and it's something that you should apply. Natural supplements, I'm going to get into that shortly. Aromatherapy, this is something that can help. Time spent with animals, not only animals, flora and fauna. When you go out there to the park, or you take time with your family to go for a picnic or that kind of thing, getting away, getting some greenery, that helps to relax you. Or going for a movie, seeing a movie, just doing things that are extracurricular, which take you away from the stressful situation that you're in. If it is a job or anything like that, then taking some time off that and going to a place that relaxes you is important. Getting a hobby, getting a sport, watching football. I know very soon today we have some exciting football coming up. These are things that will actually help you to relax yourself. Some people resort to alcohol, which is not very good if you take in high amounts. So avoid anything that has to do with drugs because that can be addictive and it can add other problems to the problem that you are facing. So let's look at today, because we are here courtesy of Neolife and courtesy of the solutions that are available as far as Neolife is concerned in terms of supplements that you can use. Because truth be told, today's life is very hectic, it's very stressful. And if you don't have a supplement, something extra that you can use to relax your mind to ensure that you're functioning at peak levels, then chances are high you might end up getting depressed. And and uh, and another thing that also becomes a problem is when you go to class and you're doing your exams and you cannot remember anything, and you perform poorly, yet you've been in class. That tells you that your mind is not functioning at peak levels. And we are going to look at how can we fix that? How can we fix your memory? How can you ensure that you have razor sharp memory that will actually hold up when you need it? And that is a solution that Neolife offers you. And we start there with our founder. Our founder also had a health challenge, asthma. He used the products, they worked for him. And because of that, he went out and he talked to people, built a big organization. Today, Neolife is in about 56 countries worldwide. And we are providing health solutions to everybody out there. Now, we have what we call a scientific advisory board. These are a board of scientists that actually ensures our products are safe. They don't have a side effect. They're led by Dr. Arthur Fast. who is a #1 toxicologist, is a Nobel Prize winner. And all the products I'm going to share today come through the Scientific Advisory Board. And they do what I promise they will do, because that is what SAB ensures. And the good thing is that they are natural, they're organic, they don't have any chemicals in them. And when you use them, they actually work. I have seen many people invest in supplements and they get very, very discouraged because they are buying something over the counter, it's synthetic. Remember one thing, anything synthetic, 80% is rejected by your body. The body will take less than 20%. You don't need that. That's a waste of money. When you take our products, the body takes more than 80%, rejects 20. So you have better value when you're dealing with Neolife than any other product. Now, let's start off. The first product that is highly recommended for you to ensure that you don't get into a situation where stress really gets you down and you get into a mental challenge is Treonine. What does Treonine do? It simply ensures that your cells are functioning properly. It provides fatty acids, which ensure the cells absorb nutrients, waste is excreted. You become very energetic. If you look at the cell there, the first cell, it is stressed up um, because of lack of enough lipids and sterols. And when you use Treonine, then it ensures that your cells are functioning at peak levels. Many people who have complained of constant fatigue and tiredness, when they use Treonine, they bounce back and you find that now they are more energetic and that kind of thing. So it ensures feeding of the cells, optimized membrane function, cellular energy production. These are some of the benefits of Treonine. Another product that is critical is called carotenoid complex. If you take a 90 tablet pack of carotenoid, is equivalent to 115 kilos of raw fish, fruits and vegetables. Benefits, in 20 days, it boosts your immunity by 37%. Why is that important? When you boost your immunity, your body is able to fight disease. And when it fights disease, it means you have less things to worry about because your body is functioning properly. Because when you are sick, you will get very, very stressed. You are sick, probably you are a breadwinner, you cannot do your job, bills are piling up and all that. That will add up to your stress level. So working on your immunity is very, very important. And especially now with the COVID-19 season being around, you'll find that if your immunity is low, then you're bound to get COVID. That will cost you a lot of money in terms of medical bills. You'll go without several days without going to work, which will impact on your finances. You have to spend so much money in hospital, and that will give you stress, which can culminate into mental challenges. Now, another product that is so important is called omega-3 salmon oil. Now, omega-3, the only food for your brain is omega-3 oils. That is the only food that your brain knows about. And we have an omega-3 salmon with the 8 members of the omega-3 families. I'm not going to go into it because you can see them on the screen. But this, why should you have the 8? Because each member of the omega-3 families has benefits that it offers for you and your mind. One of the key benefits is it lowers inflammation by 68%. So inflammation is disease in your body. And when you lower inflammation, then you avoid disease, you avoid getting sick. But more importantly, it helps your mind so that you can be able to remember things. Now, if you give your wife who is expectant or your baby omega-3 oils, the brain cells of this child or the fetus are usually larger than normal. So when that kid gets into class and sits in class, he'll be able to recall things very fast. That's why you find that most communities that live near the lake shore will eat a lot of fish, get a lot of omega-3, and then their performance in class is very, very good. And that's why you find that most lawyers and doctors, their names will start with O or A. Simply because they eat a lot of fish, and that's a reality on the ground. Now, I know there are some people who will tell me, Fred, I normally buy a certain product in the chemist, which gives me omega-3. Let me tell you, that's a waste of money because you find that most of those products will only have 1 omega-3 in them. It won't have 7. So you're buying a substandard product. And that's why you find that you might be having even joint aches, memory lapses, and you're taking this product from the shop, but it's not giving you the results that you're looking for. So if you want results, then you better get yourself omega-3 salmon. There's a salmon for both adults and for children. It will actually help your mind to function very, very well. Now, the other products are multivitamins and minerals. These are so important in the body. For example, iron, it helps oxygen to flow through the body. Oxygen helps you to be alert and more focused. When your blood is moving, you have enough blood and it's moving around your body, then you will have fewer spells of dizziness. Dizziness could be one of the symptoms that is associated with memory or mental challenges. Yeah. So we have a very important multivitamin and mineral blend. We call it multi, that is available. And these products are available in a PROVITALI pack if you want a value pack, but you can also buy them individually. So you can buy omega-3 individually, carotenoids, threonine, and the multi as well. You can buy it individually, or you can buy it together in a pack, and that's very, very important. We also have products for children that I'm just going to go into right now, which will actually give you similar benefits. And those are benefits of PROVITALI. Maybe you can take a screenshot just to see for yourself. Healthy brain function, flexible, healthy joints, clear vision, powerful antioxidant, prevents you from getting cancer, lifelong heart health, energy, youthful hair and skin, and nails as well, and lifelong cellular health. Now, for the children, this is what we give them. The VitaGuard is a carotenoid complex. VitaSquares is a nutrition, is actually the threonine in this case. Liquivite is a combination of VitaGuard, VitaSquares, and All-C. And this one is actually for infants who cannot chew tablets. You just mix it with water, give it to them, and they're good to go. Then NutriShake, very, very important for feeding the cells as far as the kid is concerned. So that's a program for children. If you want to take a screenshot, you can do that. But it's a powerful product. On top of this, we add the omega-3. The omega-3 is also given to children to ensure that they have good mental health. Another product that we give for children, especially in cases where you want the kid to improve in class, is mind enhancement. I can tell you, one of my nieces was having a challenge in class. Her performance was not very good. She was actually an A student initially, but she slid to a D student. And by the time she was getting to Form 1, Form 2, she was already a D student. But in primary, she was an A student. And we gave her this program, and we gave her the mind enhancement, we gave her the omega-3, and she used the products, and her results improved drastically. She finished with a C+, and that was quite amazing. Even the teachers couldn't believe it. And I asked her, okay, what changed that you actually did so well finally, yet in the other classes you are not? She told me, well, I was more alert. I had never felt tired. I would feel so tired during prep time. I would doze off. Even in class, I was always tired. But now after taking this program, I was so alert. I could sit in class and I would remember things. When the exam came, I would write and I would remember everything the teacher said. And that gave her a lot of self-esteem, which actually helped her to perform very, very well. So this is just something that is exciting about our products for children. Now, for adults, what do we need to use as far as Neolife to ensure that our mental health is taken care of? There are several products there, and you can take a screenshot again. It covers the entire program for the mind and what you need. The first one is Aloe Vera Plus. Aloe Vera Plus is a yummy, sweet drink that you want to take for the rest of your life. It's an amazing product. It helps you to relax as a person, and it helps you to deal with the stresses of life. And remember, I said stress is one of the causes of mental health challenges. So when you take Aloe Vera Plus, you're assured that you'll have a very good night's sleep. It flushes out your digestive system, and you wake up feeling very optimistic and very excited about life. The next product is called Calcium Magnesium, CalMag. CalMag will give you a very good night's sleep. One of the challenges about mental health, and one of the symptoms that you're having a challenge mentally, is lack of sleep. Many people become insomniacs with time, and they cannot sleep when it's time to sleep. And then when it's not time to sleep, they sleep. So in the evening, when you get to bed, there's no sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, in the course of the day, you're in a meeting and you are snoring. That tells you there's a mental health challenge right there. So when you take aloe vera plus, you take calcium, magnesium, these two will actually help you to sleep like a baby. And you'll wake up feeling very fresh, very refreshed. Calcium by its very nature and magnesium helps to relax the nerves. It helps you to deal with stress. You don't need, actually, most people who have a challenge and they want to smoke because of stress, when they take calcium, they're able to kick out the smoking habit because they're able to use it and the body relaxes. Another product that helps you to sleep very well is called Herbal Rest and Relax. Herbal Rest and Relax gives you a very good night's sleep. And one of the things about herbals, and this is something I always tell my clients, is that when you take Herbal Rest and Relax, be prepared to dream, because you really sleep deeply and you dream and you dream. I remember when I was working and I was doing night shifts, I used to take like a quarter tablet and I would sleep like a baby. And even if I slept for 4 hours, I woke up feeling so sharp and so excited about life. So Herbal Rest and Relax is very, very important. Something else about Herbal Rest and Relax. There's a drug that is prescribed for people who are undergoing depression by doctors. It's called Prozac. And recent literature has shown that there's a herb that you can use instead of using Prozac, because Prozac has so many side effects, mood swings, being addicted to it. You get very, your appetite goes up, you eat too much, you become so big. Um, Prozac has so many side effects, though it is used for managing depression by most doctors. Now, in Europe, they are using St. John's wort herb instead of Prozac, because St. John's wort herb helps you to relax, because most people who have mental issues don't sleep very well at night. Instead of sleeping, they are thinking about the challenges they have in life, the problems they have, and that makes them even more depressed. So St. John's wort herb is actually available in Herbal Rest and Relax. So you find that when you take Herbal Rest and Relax, it gives you a very good night's sleep, and you're actually on the road to recovery, especially for people who are clinically depressed. Now, another product that is very important for mental challenges and dealing with stress is vitamin B complex. Vitamin B is a supplement for the nerves. It helps your nerves. It's actually food for the nerves. Vitamin B is to the nerves what omega-3 is to your mind, because omega-3, like we said earlier, is actually food for the mind, and it's the only food that your mind has. So if you're eating a diet that is lacking omega-3, then you're doing your mind a big disservice. And that's why many people get migraines, because they lack enough omega-3. I remember an incident that I had of a young man who was informed to, and this guy was always having migraine headaches. And I did some quick research and I realized that lack of omega-3 actually causes migraines. So I gave him, and I also realized that there are some products or some foods that you can take for some people, not all people. For some people, they get allergic reactions in terms of headaches and migraines. And I looked at the list of food items. One of the items that has an allergic reaction for some people and gives them migraines is avocado, bananas, chips, fatty foods, fried foods, chips, salty food, and that kind of thing. So those three things were actually mentioned, that they actually have an allergic reaction which gives migraines. And for some people, like I said, not for everybody, for some people. And I put this kid on omega-3, and and mind enhancement, and I advised the parents to stop him, because he was staying in Gilgil, and in their shamba they had avocado trees. He would not eat anything without avocado. He loved his chips and salt and all that. He would not eat without adding salt at the table. And I advised the parents, and they made some few corrective lifestyle challenges. They stopped the kid from taking avocados, eating salty food, minimize the chips. And this kid, I mean, and his migraines were serious, by the way. He would get a migraine and he would go home and he would stay home for a week. His head would be so hot and it'd be so challenged. But after taking omega-3, mind enhancement, and changing his lifestyle habits, the kid was able to deal with migraines once and for all. So if you're out there and you're having a problem with migraines, probably that, by the way, a headache, don't cover a headache with Panadol. A headache shows that there's a problem in your body that needs to be sorted out. And if you are getting constant headaches, then your body is telling you you lack omega-3 in your diet. You need to get a lot of omega-3 in your diet. It could also be indicating that you're not getting enough fluids. You're not drinking your 2 liters of water. If your stomach has a problem, you'll have a migraine headache. If you're always having flatulence, you'll have a migraine headache. So you need to fix the problem. Don't cover it with Panadol. Because when you cover it with Panadol, it can bring other challenges. I saw a young man who always had migraines, always on Panadols. He eventually developed epilepsy because of taking too much of those painkillers. So back to vitamin B. Basically, it relaxes your mind. It helps your mind to function properly. And it's a wonderful, it helps you to deal with stress. Then mind enhancement, like the name suggests, it improves the performance of your mind. It has what we call ginkgo biloba, gotu kola, red sage. These are herbs that are good for the mind. If you Google ginkgo biloba or gotu kola, you realize that these are herbs that are available that actually help to improve your brain power. And what mind enhancement does is that it cleanses your gray matter so that now the gray matter gets toxic material with time, car fumes, aluminum from pots and pans, and all these things. So when you take mind enhancement, it cleanses the gray matter. You find that you are now able to recall things. Maybe there was a name that was locked somewhere and forgotten. Now you can remember it. So mind enhancement is very, very critical in managing your the state of your mind. And it is recommended that you should take mind enhancement either once or twice a year, so that as you grow older, we tend to become forgetful. And because of all these aluminum pots and pans that we are exposed to and all these toxins, but you need to take mind enhancement to bring your body and your mind back to what it was. I can tell you, even for people who have a challenge with impotence, when they take mind enhancement, they start functioning. So this is something that is very, very important that you should actually use. These products that I'm sharing, you should not wait until you have a mental challenge for you to take. You should take them to prevent yourself from getting the mental challenge. But God forbid, if you already have it, then you can use the same products to manage the condition. Then CoQ10 enables the function of internal organs, your liver, your kidney, your heart, your mind. It helps your mind to produce energy, and so that you stop dozing off in class and in meetings. You need a lot of CoQ10 so that the body goes back to normal. Remember, CoQ10 is produced by the body, but after the age of 50, the production goes below 50%. Or if your diet is lacking in fruits and vegetables, then the body is not able to produce enough CoQ10, and that will lead to other problems, fatigue, mental challenges, and that kind of thing. Last but not least is a product. It's a new product called Neolife Tea. Neolife Tea is made from green tea, and their tea, it's a blend that actually keeps you very, very alert. One of my clients bought Neolife Tea recently, and she told me, man, this thing is awesome. My energy levels are so high. I'm so alert. I'm able to remember things. Oh, I just love this thing. So Neolife Tea is amazing. It tastes very, very nice. And it's a product that you need to get for yourself. Now, before I finish, I want to invite this lady. She's a very special lady to all of us in Neolife because she's one of our leaders. She has built a big business with Neolife. She has interacted with the products. She's been with us, I think, since 1997. She has used the products. She has moved the products. She has helped so many people deal with various challenges through the Neolife products. And today she's here just sharing her story and speaking a little bit, contributing to this topic that we have today of mental health. So Margaret Amulavu, I can see you. Please unmute yourself and you can go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred, for that very special, wonderful session that you have covered. I believe that it's very appropriate with all that is going on now. A lot of people are having mental issues because of what we are going through, keeping away from people, not having a social life, the thing of having to quarantine and those kind of things, and then people being together for a long time and maybe they're not able to relate. And so it's a very, very appropriate topic at a time like this. Just to go into the session, my name is Margaret Amulavu. And before this session, I work for an international bank. And after working for this bank for 8.5 years, I chose to resign. And the reason I resigned is because I came home one day and our son at 3 years old said, Mommy does not come home these days because I used to have late hours. The earliest I got home is midnight and I would leave by 8 o'clock. And so my son for 3 days hadn't actually seen me. And so I thought that was not a very good thing for a 3-year-old baby. And then secondly, I come from a very mixed background. My father is a Kenyan, my mother is a Malawian, and then I'm married to somebody from Western Kenya. And I just thought my in-laws would just think I'm as mixed up in my life as I was in my background. And so on that basis, I actually chose to resign. But I never regret being in the bank because that's where I met my husband, Charles, a very supportive man. He has encouraged me, he's been by my side. He's actually majority of who I am today. And I say that because when I decided to resign from the bank, I didn't want him.
Sorry, Maggie, you're frozen up a little bit.
Am I frozen?
Now you're back, you're back.
Sorry. So at the time I was saying that when I left the bank was the most inappropriate because we had a house mortgage, we had a car loan, our son was going to school and had gotten a second child. And so it was a very appropriate time to leave, but I decided to leave. And that's why I say it was supportive because he never threw me out of the house. A normal man would have thrown me out. And this topic of brain health is very dear to me. And those of us who have been in the business with me, like Fred said, I've been since 1997, actually 15th of May. And I always thank God for this business. In fact, I'm alive and well because of the products that Fred shared with us. And I'll go just a little bit back when Fred was discussing that how you can get depression. I often say in my testimony that I've been through depression before and I've never shared, but today, thank God, I'll be able to share. I grew up with a very strict father who you could not discuss things with, almost military kind of a person because his own father was also a military guy. I was picked and dropped from nursery to when I was working. From when I went to school at 6 years up to 21, I never used public means. And I always joke and I say, no wonder I could only get a husband in the bank. I mean, we were actually working in the same office. How could I date? And I'm picked and dropped right where I am dropped in the morning. And so with a very harsh father for me, interfered with me because I'm a very expressive person. And my father was so strict, we could not talk back to him. And for me, what started off the depression, I noticed that I went into depression just when I was 19, when I reported for my A-levels. And it's because I was a sports person, but a teacher somewhere told my dad how when we go for sports, we are not taken care of, so I could even end up getting pregnant. So from the time I was 16 years, I could not participate in sports, though I qualified to run for Nairobi province each and every year of my school life. In fact, the one that really broke me up is that when I was in Form 2, I qualified to run for Kenya Junior Championships in Canada, and my dad refused. He said, you'll go and run and get money and not study. And that for me just broke me up because for me, sports was actually my central point. I used to do sprints, I could swim, I could run. I was a well-rounded person. And so for me, that actually, so the first time I realized that something was not right, I'd actually reported to Form 5. And what happened is that I just wasn't happy. I didn't have the motivation. I would just sleep, not wake up. I didn't have the mood. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I remember my father, I went to a boarding school for 3 days, came back home and I said, I'm not able to cope. And they did all the tests you can imagine. And my dad was on a good cover. I went to one of the major hospitals in Kenya. They did all the tests and they could not find out what is wrong. But one day, because I love reading, I came across an article that was in a newspaper and it described depression. It talked of a lady who was called Jane who will not wake up, not bathe. Fred, you talked about neglecting. You don't care how you look. You don't even bathe. You don't even brush your teeth. You sit in a dark room the whole day. You don't want to talk to anybody. Basically, life is meaningless. And from that article, I was able to tell Dad, I know what I'm suffering from. So I went into antidepressants for almost 10 years. So Fred, those things you're saying are so real to me. You actually will not bathe, you will not talk to anybody, and you don't want to eat. I remember being put on a sleeping pill that is called Stilnox. No, yeah, Stilnox was one of them. Another one called night rest. The one that was night rest was horrible. You wake up in the middle of the night, I'll clean a room, remove everything. And when I'm told in the morning I cleaned the room, I cannot remember. It just disconnects the reality from what's happening. At one time I went to the kitchen, cooked tea. I put on the gas. Imagine I'm partly asleep, partly awake. I made tea. And I'm not realizing that I'm in the kitchen. So it is a very, very dangerous thing. Depression, basically what I'm talking about is depression because I've been through it. And then the other thing is that when you realize somebody is giving away things, just give away things, even good things. They're just in the habit of just giving away. Be very careful. That could be a sign of depression. Then keeping away, you don't want to talk to anybody. Nothing makes sense to you. Actually, you have no reason to wake up. You're just basically not yourself. And so for me, I know what depression is. And so when I talk about depression and I say, I understand what it is true. And so when I came to Neolife, when I started off, I wasn't very keen on the health products because I think I looked at them and I said, I'm too young, I'm not a doctor, and I felt I could not deal with them. I started off with the cleaning. I was very comfortable, they're easy to understand and to demonstrate. But an incident happened to us immediately we joined the business. 6 months after we started this business, we had an unfortunate accident and we lost control and we rolled from, there's a bridge, a place called Lanette, and we rolled from the top of the bridge to the bottom of the bridge. And the baby who I had then, she was a year and a half, she went out through the window and we lost her. It was a tragic, tragic accident because in a car where we were 5 of us, only my husband and I were left in the car after it had rolled several times and gone under the bridge. And we were with my son, my mother-in-law, and the baby. And when we landed, it was only Charles and I who were there because we were belted. It is so important that you have a seat belt, not because of the cops, but just for your own good. If it wasn't for those seat belts, I don't think we'll be alive. And after we landed, I picked up the baby and I just thought she had fallen on my feet because I was breastfeeding her and the leg had the car had a lot of leg room. But when I picked the shoulder, there was no child. And I remember looking outside and seeing her there. I have no idea to date how I got out of that car because everything, it had central locking, everything locked. My mother-in-law was not in the car. My son was not in the car. The baby was not in the car, but I managed to get out maybe through the window. I don't know. And when I picked the baby, I realized that one side of the head, it was at about 5 a.m. in the morning. One side of the head, I can feel some hair. The other side, I don't know what's happening. I can't see well. There's a lot of blood that is on me. I can hear my son calling from somewhere in the bush I'm not seeing. We are trying to call my mother-in-law. We can't see her. What I'm saying, it was just bad. Fortunately, there's a trailer that saw us roll. They turned back, picked us up and took us to a hospital called Pine Breeze. And within 5 minutes of us getting there, they said that the baby had died. Later, I realized that the baby split the scalp. The side that was feeling hair actually was the split scalp. The other side had nothing. And she broke her neck. And it was just so tragic. And as if that's not enough, it was on the 25th of December on a Christmas day. So we drove back, my dad picked us up, we came back to Nairobi. 3 weeks after we buried the baby, my mother-in-law died. She had complications from the accident that were never discovered. 3 months after my mother-in-law died in February, my mother died in June. She was just worried about me. She said I was not as talkative, I'd become quiet, I'd lost weight. In fact, I could only wear trousers or pleated clothes because anybody who saw me knew something was wrong. And then a month after my mother, my father-in-law died. But do you know, because of those products that Fred has talked about, that is when I decided to take the health products, because they said if you're undergoing some stress, then these products will help you. And I'm telling you, those products sorted me out. So you can imagine when I'd been depressed for almost 10 years before, and I've gone through this thing that I'm saying has no even solution. I mean, death is like the end of everything. I never went into depression. And so these products for me are so dear, they are everything. And I'm still here because I believe there are people who have been through issues like me and they do not know what to do. For me, I remember putting myself on the 3NN, then it was Formula 4, and I used calcium, I used aloe vera plus, I used herbal rest and relax, I used vitamin B complex and mind enhancement. The very key ones, omega-3 was very, very necessary. It really helps with the moods, because one day you are happy, another day you don't even know whether you're living, feel a little bit numb, things are not making sense. And then the thing about herbal rest and relax is that it controls the thoughts. When you're stressed, The mind can only hold 7 thoughts at a given time. But when you're stressed, 13, 14 thoughts come together, and that's what brings the confusion. So the thing about mind enhancement, about herbal rest, it brings only 1 thought at a time. And when you've cleared with that thought is when another one comes. That's when another one comes. And so you find that you are actually able to cope. In fact, one of the things I remember that the very following day after we lost our baby and people started visiting, I'm the one who was consoling them, and they could not understand what it was, because they came crying and they ended up just sitting there because they found the person who should be crying is actually dry eyes and is consoling them. And so herbal rest and relax, very, very key. It helps you to get back your sleep. You sleep well, you sleep like a baby, and it just gives you that ability to cope. Not that you're not going to go through something, but as you go through it, you've got ability to go on until one day you find you're out of the woods. The other product, mind enhancement, very key. The thing about mind enhancement is that it increases blood flow to the brain. And when that happens, it clears the gray matter, cleans and detoxifies the brain, helps you with accurate recall. It's called photographic memory. You remember and recall things exactly as they happened, as if they just happened there, that you can say word for word, detail for detail of exactly what happened. And then, of course, the calcium was very good coming down the nerves. And so when you go to sleep, you actually sleep like a baby. Vitamin B complex, excellent, because your nervous system is just on another level. You get things that we call panic attacks, palpitations, pain in the chest called angina. You also don't even sleep well. You're like a nervous person. And if the panic attacks are very bad, you actually are given an injection. It's usually actually a B vitamin that you're injected because the panic attacks are just bad. You can get out of breath. You're just not really yourself. And so these products are just on another level. And I want to say that when I decided to use the products, I read a little bit about them, and I found they were just exclusive. Not only were they natural, but they've got something we call bioavailability. Fred talked about that you can go and get an omega-3 from wherever. But that thing called bioavailability, what percentage of that product is working inside your body? In your life, actually, up to almost 85, 90% is working and getting utilized in the body. A good example is our vitamin C. At the moment, people are being told to take a vitamin C that is 1,000 milligrams. Our vitamin C is only 500, and people are saying, why is yours 500? Because of the thing that we call bioavailability. That majority of it will get used in your body compared to another vitamin C. And then the other thing about our products, they are totally natural. They support the 5 stages of nutrition. The way food behaves in the body is exactly how our supplements work. And we say that food follows 6 stages. There is diet, which when you eat, then it goes into digestion, then it goes into circulation, then it goes to absorption, assimilation, and eventually it is eliminated. So food follows those 6 stages. So if a supplement cannot follow those 6 stages, it is totally, totally useless. And that's how our products are exclusive, because they are whole food nutrition. They will follow the 6 stages. The other thing I can say about those products, the other thing that I have used extensively, I started giving my daughter, who's now 19, I started giving her omega-3 when she was 3 days old. I was doing an experiment. I'm a very curious person, and I just wanted to make sure that it was not only me who benefited. And so Angela, at 3 days old, I started giving her omega-3. And a few things happened. At 6 months, she would not pee in the bed at night. Would find that we've put a pampers on her in the morning, it's still dry, so we just started putting on her an ordinary panty and just putting something on her in the morning. And I got a bit concerned, went to a pediatrician, and they said the brain development is very high. At 2 years, I took her to a certain Bible study. I started going for a Bible study. Somebody encouraged me to go, especially after I lost the other baby. And they just said that it will help me cope. So this Bible study, you take your children at 2 years and they'll go and also go with you just for 2 hours once a week. And Angela, by week 3 of taking her for the Bible study, she was singing the Kenyan national anthem in English, all of it at 2 years, and she'd never been to school. And I also remember that when she started talking, she didn't lisp, she didn't go to Mada, she just spoke. One day we just found the child talking. When she was about 5 years, she could name 10 families with you. She would say, maybe this is Fred with Margaret and all your daughters together, come to Fred, come to Gladys. 10 different families, she would name all of you and not get confused on who comes from where. And then I remember at 5, 6 years, she had our phone numbers, our cell phone numbers in her head. I mean, I know that most of us, even maybe you just know your spouses or a friend. Angela had both our phone numbers in her head. And I remember a place we used to go shopping. She could take you through that route on her own without anybody's assistance. And the other thing is that she's got an excellent, excellent memory. I mean, she sings songs from different parts of the world. She can speak Spanish, she can sing Spanish very well. She speaks the South African dialects very well. Kikuyu, Kamba. I remember a Kamba song I taught her to sing at my sister's wedding. She does not speak Kamba even one word, but she sang that song and would have said this girl is a Kamba. So I know that these products make a difference. And that's why today I'm still here, because I believe there are people who are going through issues like I did and would do very well with these products. In fact, I know without a shadow of a doubt that if it wasn't these products, there is no way I would be sane. After me explaining to you that accident, it was tragic, it was horrible, but imagine I am as fine as a fiddle, I am a happy person, and the products just made all the difference. And just to say that finally, God is a very faithful God. To me, this is a God-given opportunity. Don't let it pass by. And for whatever reason, as a distributor or as a guest, you will not look at the business.
Sorry, Maggie, you froze a little bit.
Sorry. So I want to say that there are products that you cannot do without. There are products that everybody today who is alive needs them. And I want to thank Neolife and the lady who introduced me to this business. I pray for her wherever she is. She's now late. But I do know that if it was not for these products, there is no way I would have maintained my sanity. And Fred, thank you for that session. And I just hope that something I've shared or said has helped somebody, and that those of you who could be giving up in the business, you'll go that extra mile and talk to one more person, because I believe there are many more Margarets out there who need these products. Thank you, Fred, for the opportunity to share, and God bless you. And thank you very much.
Wow, that is fire.
Back to you, Fred.
Thank you so much, Maggie. That was a powerful session, straight from the heart, and there you have it. Guys, you can see for her, it's a mission. She's on a mission to change people's lives. And I know you can also join us and get on the mission to make a positive difference in people's lives. So we are just coming to the end of our session today, guys, and we've had a fantastic session. We've talked a little bit about health. We've mentioned a bit about money. And in conclusion, I just want to say that we are in a mission. We are on a mission to change people's lives. And you can also join us. You can become a distributor. You can start changing other people's lives, providing solutions. I'm not a medic. Maggie is not a medic. We've been trained by Neolife. We've learned on the job. So don't feel intimidated that you need to know all these things to be successful. No, you don't need. We are there to give you backup. When we do such sessions, they are just for you to bring in a friend who gets to hear about what we know from our experience, and that person is able to make a decision. So we make your life easier in the business. You're able to bring a friend, and that friend comes and listens to this and joins the business or buys a product, and you're able to grow the business by changing one person's life. So as we come to the end of this session, remember the session will be available. It will be on YouTube. So we'll be able to share it with you. You'll get it in the course of today. And the person who invited you will be able to get it for you. So you can replay it, and you can also share it with a customer, and that customer can see what mental health is all about. But as we finish, remember, you can participate at different levels with Neolife. You can get in as a distributor, start building an organization, start making money, become a promoter, or you can decide you just want to join to buy products at wholesale price. Nobody will put targets on you that you must sell this. No. You buy it at your own pace. It's like a supermarket. You walk in, you buy what you need, and you leave what you don't need. Or you can simply become a customer. You can be buying at retail price from the person who invited you. Whichever decision you make, it's your decision. We will work with you, and we will help you and work with you based on what you want. Otherwise, it was great talking to you guys today. Make a decision, get in, get started, get the products. For the distributors on the call, don't be a salesman. Buy the products for your own use. The best way to grow this business is by using the products, sharing your testimony, and you can never go wrong. If you want to succeed faster, use more products. Invest Put a budget every month for the products that you'll be using, and make sure that you get them, so that the more you use, the more you'll be able to move. Otherwise, it was great having you on the call. Have a blessed afternoon. We'll see you again next Sunday, when we'll be sharing again about some of our exciting products. We look at a different range of products, and it will all be informative. Thank you so much. God bless you. Next Sunday, make sure you invite a friend, come with a friend, a neighbor, a relative. Let them come and learn more about health. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a blessed afternoon. Bye.